Right, summation of the December 1st and 15th meetings of the Mendham Borough Town Council. Sorry, these are really late, but yeah, whatever. Somebody else can do it. Anyway, council member Andrus apparently was in the hospital sometime there in December, but he's apparently okay. Don't know what his problem was, but whatever. There's lots of little issues. There was some sort of Girl Scout BS. I don't know. They're going to do some kind of stuff, and so there was some sort of thing approved for the Girl Scouts. Apparently, there's some sort of pins the town ordered for, like, I guess they had a volunteer day, December 29th or something like that, and maybe gave everybody a little pin, you know, a little Mendham pin or something. I don't know. There was some talk about the Woodsack council member guy apparently went to some sort of thing, and apparently there's supposed to be some flood money available from the federal government or something else, and so they were talking about Prospect Street or maybe fixing a problem where I guess some water comes off a mountainside road and ends up on Valley Way. But it's all just speculation. nothing in stone. There was flu shots available, but it's way past, so forget about it. Not available anymore. There was block grants for something else. I don't know what it was. They don't really give much details. There was some discussion at that meeting about the animal control thing in St. Hubert's, and so that's resolved when you get into next year, so I won't bother with it now. There was the court judge. I don't know whether they finally got one or not, but there was discussion about the fact that they had resumes and they're looking them over, blah blah blah. And there was some COA stuff that, you know, about filing the submissions they have to make for the affordable housing stuff. So I don't know how that all turned out. I know they got an extension on time so they could file it later in December. But apparently they were waiting on approval of their plan, and so I'll talk about that later also because there's more news on that subject. Somebody in the public comment portion of the meeting talked about a cell tower, you know, 100-foot, 130-foot one. I guess they're going to put behind King's, and he was a little bit pissed off that he wasn't notified because apparently he's not within 250 feet, and obviously the tower will affect people that are further away than 250 feet. So that's before the Board of Adjustment apparently probably go through a few boards before that'll get finalized, but the odds are you ain't gonna be able to stop it because basically the federal courts have said, yes, you know, this technology we must have, so your individual needs will be ignored, your individual concerns. Weird resolution, they did approve these snowplow guys, and I remember when this snow plowing thing first came up, they were kind of wondering why some guys are getting $17 an hour and why one guy was getting 25 or whatever, and that they shouldn't be paid that much. And it ends up they're going to give three guys, you know, two guys are going to get $25 an hour and the other guy's going to get 30. So don't seem like they made a very good bargain there. Alright, so on to the December 15th meeting. There was a little proclamation given out to some 8th graders for some float they made for the parade. Whatever. After the proclamation-y thing, the council members were whispering and talking to each other, and it was kind of funny because they were talking about photographs, and one of the council members says he doesn't want to get photographed, and or it might have been the attorney, and they're all joking about how charged but never convicted and making all kinds of jokes about what crooks they might be. So I just thought that was funny. I mean, they just joke about that shit. That's what our public servants are for, is to joke about the fraud that takes place. The crooks. Alright, so the usual junk, a couple of resolutions about tax overpayments. There was some Highlands junk that was incomprehensible. Alright, the website. The town did make a deal with this CityNet shyster company. And apparently the first year you pay $7,000, and then after the continuing years you pay a maintenance fee or whatever, $3,000, some other number. But the weird thing is Provident Bank paid $5,000 of it, and I think that's pretty much illegal. It's one of the banks the town uses to put its, you know, liquid money in. And it just looks, you know, I'm going to have to, I'll submit a question to the council on that issue because it just doesn't seem like it's legal for, especially when these aren't bidded contracts for these banks. They're just picked by the town, and this seems like kind of bribery there, right? And, well, you know, we will give you $5,000, you keep us as the bank, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's kind of crap that shouldn't be going on. So far as I know, up to this date, the website still isn't there, so they're apparently getting paid, and the town has to learn how to do the ABCs of interneting, apparently. It's just disgusting. Get this all over with. I mean, the January 1st, so January 19th meeting. So they have at the meetings that the mayor has got the moment of silence thing right every time, which is good. And there was some discussion about the private ambulance service. They're going to get some ordinance in place to kind of intimidate Holly Manor to, not abuse the town's ambulance service to do its private moving of its patients back and forth to the hospital. Apparently there's going to be a new cafe taking over where KC's was, and so the town just wanted to make sure they're going to follow all the rules, and of course they're supposed to. But who knows? They'll want to make more money, they'll want to do liquor, they'll want to do this, they'll want to do that. So the St. Hubert's thing, the town discussed it for quite a while. For the $10,000 a year, they apparently only rescued 19 animals in the last year. So the town really is trying to find something else, so they're going to try to limit the contract to only 6 months this time, and hopefully in that 6-month period they'll find some other way to take care of this animal problem. Ken O'Brien, I guess, was officially made the head of the Public Works Department because he got whatever certification he needed. There was some pole barn thing. I don't know what the hell it was. They didn't say. They're looking for a grant for $100,000 to pave the MASH parking lot. I mean, MASH is a non-for-profit corporation of its own. It's not the town's property, so I don't know why this is the town's business. But the bigger news was that they did mention that they did spend or are spending the $300,000 of the COA money. So they had like $372,000 in that COA fund, and they've blown $300,000 of it now on kitchens for the people in MASH. So then we got like $53,000 left. They also spend another 20 or 30 on lawyers over this stupid COA stuff, to do their compliance. And the real issue is if they have some past liabilities that they have to match, they shouldn't really have spent this money on non-essential, really, things. I mean, the only way they're supposed to be doing this rehabilitation is if there's code violations and all the rest of this stuff. The income of the people, it doesn't even match what COA requires. I mean, the whole thing's just illegal, flatly illegal. And they just get away with this crap because the whole fucking government is a bunch of crooks and liars and bums and overpaid shysters. They're not public servants, they're fucking crooks. It really is. Democrat or Republican, they are goddamn criminals. So anyway, then they got some other grant they're going to try to get for imaging documents with the county, and just putting them on disk. Simple, basic functions of the 20th century, and these assholes have to pay somebody else to do it all the time. They can't do anything in-house. It's just horrible. And then there's going to be a settlement probably in that garbage crap that's been going on since the 60s apparently. And so the maximum amount will probably be $126,000 the town will have to pay for some garbage it dumped, decades ago. But who knows when that'll come to fruition. They changed their open public records form to the official form record, by the Oprah. And it doesn't really matter because it's the law has been eviscerated. It never meant anything, and then the court interpretations and the council's interpretations have been just so stupid that the whole thing doesn't mean anything anyway. The whole idea of waiting 7 days for some document, it's the news is going to be old news by 7 days. It's just stupid little things in the law. And they have a right to call almost anything, something they're working on. If it's a work product, we can't see it. It's just part of the whole fraud. Why isn't it completely open? All government business should be completely open. Put it all on the internet in regular text, not your PDF files, not your other bullshit. How much time? Oh, good. I've got 1 minute left. All right, there was some issue about the salt and the school parking lots because the town's paying for the salt, and one council member made the obvious point that it doesn't matter. It's all coming out of the same tax base. It doesn't matter whether the high school pays it or the town pays it, and they're both over budget, and so it doesn't matter. The towns are talking about getting one of these grant writers so they can get more phony money to do more phony crap. Like somehow the county taxes aren't paid by the people either, or the state taxes, so it's just all more wasted money on stupid, silly projects. There was some comment the mayor had talked to the new mayor of the Mendham Township and made some comment about the township cops flying through our town too fast or some other kind of crap. There was some talk about the new garden, and there was a guy who at one of the other meetings in the public comments complained about the parking at the Pastime Club and just brought up the point that they had, there's no place to park because of the way they changed the signs. And the council member was, well, park behind Robinson's and walk to the Pastime Club and all this kind of stuff. And the real point is they have exclusive parking for their stupid committee meetings. Why don't they're the public servants? Why don't the public servants walk from behind Robinson's to the damn Phoenix house? All right, why don't the public servants do that? So anyway, it was sort of annoying to listen to. I guess that's really enough. That's really too much. The end. Finished. Fudge it.